Chris Wood here. Oh, brilliant!
Oh, that's a lovely finish from Somerville. Curls it beyond the dive of goalkeeper Johansson.
Ariel's got some space here, edge of the penalty area. Debut goal, and what a storming effort it was!
Thank you so much for joining us here on Matchday Live, where we have centre-backs and captains past and present joining us today in Don Matteo and Pascal Struck. Thank you both so much for joining us.
Pleasure.
Pascal, to you first, how are you feeling? Because I imagine it must be a little bit bittersweet watching your teammates do so well in recent games, but knowing you can't play with them.
I mean, of course, it's a pleasure watching them, seeing them winning so many games, but of course as a football player you always want to be on the pitch yourself, but seeing the team do so well, it's only good, and then hopefully I'm able to force my way into a winning team.
Yeah. The managers, did he like speaking to you? You know, how's it going with your recovery and stuff? Is he always talking to you about this kind of stuff? Or
yeah, he's asked me about how I'm feeling, how I'm progressing. In the beginning stages when I wasn't so sure about what I really had, I said I'll be back really quick, but it didn't really go like that. But he's been asking about me, and you know, we've had good conversations about it, so for sure. Good.
Yeah. Well, we can see your teammates arriving here at Elland Road earlier. What, speaking of the manager, Pascal, what is he like with you? What's your relationship like with Daniel Farke?
I feel like in the beginning already we've had a pretty good relationship since he's came in. He's been really open to trying to get to know me, speak with me, build a good relationship. And so far, so good, really. I'm happy the way how we play, the way he speaks about things, the way he keeps in contact. So far, so good.
Oh, sorry, go on.
No, go on, it's okay.
Well, we've seen that progression so clearly, haven't we, since August last year, just how well yourself and your teammates have done under Daniel Farke. Were you expecting that when he came in, or have you also been pleasantly surprised by just how well you've done as a collective?
I mean, when a new coach comes in, you always have different expectations of what to expect. Like I didn't really know too much about him. I've played against him before, but I didn't know really what kind of coach he was. So for me, it was more like seeing and adapting to whatever he wants, and the team is doing really well, so we can't complain.
Yeah, I think it's important because obviously your manager is so key. And when I look at him and the way he speaks, it feels like he gets his points across very quick, and the players seem to get it. Sometimes when you get a new coach coming in or manager, they don't really get it. But it seems like, you know, the first few games of the season were difficult. We all knew that because there was changes going on within the club. But when he came in and got hold of the club properly, it feels like we're in such a better place with him in the team as a manager.
Yeah, I mean, ever since he came in, he's trying to make a stable base for the team to grow on, and I feel like we've done that so far.
Yeah.
Also, like you said, when he comes in the beginning, that it's a little bit hectic. People don't know what to do really. I only think that what he's done so far is a really good job.
Yeah.
We talk, Pascal, so much about the attacking threat in this side, but defensively, we have the second best defensive record. How well do you and your teammates work together on that, you and your fellow defenders?
Oh, I mean, I'm really happy by the way it's going at the moment on the pitch. I mean, look at the last few games already. There's been 5 clean sheets.
Yeah.
So, but it all starts from the front, so we can't take too much credit. We work hard from the front, and then everything that goes slowly back, we try to defend as well.
You don't have to be humble.
No,
You can have a little brag.
I know. I think we, as a team, we do really well. I mean, we defend really well, but you do it all as a collective.
Yeah.
And then at the end, there might be a few saves for either Joe, I think wingbacks Archie, Sam, Junior, me, Ethan, that can take the credit, but as a team you do it all together.
Yeah, it's interesting. I obviously played centre half myself. It's interesting to hear you talk as well, because you're giving the other players that obviously up against you, or your teammates, they've kind of fitted in and done so well as well. And I just think the manager's got such a great group of players and with great attitudes, because that's what you need to have, especially playing for Leeds United. The attitude's key because the fans love it. And I just think now you've got a proper manager who kind of knows what he's doing. And that's not being disrespectful for the ex-managers you've had. I just think we've got one there now who knows exactly what he wants. And I think before we had, in my opinion, it's just my own opinion, we had a few people who were in charge of the club who didn't have that knowledge of the football, of the championship, etc. And I just feel like we've got a manager now who has that knowledge and can make people better. And we've seen that already.
Yeah, I mean, if you look at experience-wise, he's won the league twice.
Yeah.
So he's got the experience, and he's trying to build a stable group here.
Yeah.
And we're just working on. Well, he's got his clear ideas, and if you work on it every single day and you do it day to day, then you know what the identity of the team is.
Yeah.
And then you just go from there.
It's interesting because, like, I worked on all the basic stuff, and people think that's boring. You know, you know, like heading, for example. I know it's different from my era to this era, but you still got to head things. Mm-hmm. But I feel like we've looked very solid defensively, especially with the headers, because we've seen Joe, we've seen other teammates do that job, and that's what the Leeds fans love. The Leeds fans love people putting their body on the line and stuff like that, and I think the fans love that. They absolutely love it. Do you understand how the fans feel about that? You know, the way they want to see their team play.
Yeah, of course. I mean, they've seen us work so hard.
Yeah.
And they love when we go into tackle, or when we have a clearance. If we chase the ball for 30 seconds, even if we don't win it, like all the effort that we put in gets appreciated by all the fans. So we feel it in the stadium as well. I mean, as a player, you definitely can say as well that whenever you get a good tackle in or a good header, and the crowd cheers you on, then you know it's just happy days.
Yeah.
Pascal, you were one of a few players who were here in that 1920 promoted season. We are on more points now. You're on more points now at this stage of the season than you were then. Do you feel like there's any similarities between the two seasons?
It's difficult for me to say because I was in the group, but I didn't really play a big part in the group, I would say. But like different group, I feel like we're younger, we're less experienced, but we're doing a really good job at the moment. There you had a little bit more experience, different manager, so it's two different worlds really. But I feel like if you look at the whole league, the standard has been really good, but that just shows that we can progress with the top as well, and then hopefully see our future at the end.
Fingers crossed. And what is your rapport and relationship like as a team off the pitch as well?
Yeah, I feel like as a group we have a tight group. I mean, we have everybody that's still pretty young, and then you have the more experienced lads that come in as well, and they take a little bit of control of our experienced side, because you need it as well, because you always have the young lads that come in. But then if you have more experienced guy that can teach you the things you need to learn over the years that you will learn, it's only better for the team.
Absolutely. Well, with 12 points from 12 in January, Daniel Farke was named the Championship Manager of the Month. Let's get his thoughts ahead of this game.
Well, I could do with winning this trophy all 2 months, if I'm honest, because it means we have really good spells. Again, I'm not so much into individual awards in football, but it's always a recognition more or less for the club, for the team, for the staff, because it means more or less Manager of the Month means more or less best club, best team of the month, and this is a nice little recognition. really for my players, for our staff members, for our whole club, because we've done fantastically during January, and for that I'm happy for them that we. And I take this award in the name of all our staff members, my players, for the whole club. It's a nice little recognition, and I think, especially in the recent months, we showed a great consistency that brought us to a really good point average also in this league, and also some success in the cup so far. Yes, and long may it continue. Well, we have also scored many goals. In terms of goal difference, we are on a really good path, and also we are one of the biggest threat in the offense in terms of goals. I think, especially also my offensive players share many goals. Yes, but we could make our life sometimes even a bit easier in being a bit more clinical in front of the goal. Sometimes it's also a bit unlucky, like in the last cup game. I think we hit 3 or 4 times the woodwork. So for that, yes, in terms of efficiency, we can even improve and have to improve. That's definitely for sure. But overall, we're on a good path. To speak about this, to judge, to just give the hint of the first fixture away at Rotherham, how difficult it was there. Also to speak about their starting lineup. It feels like their starting lineup has already 4,000 games on championship level in their CV. It's one of the most experienced sides in this league. Also to point on their last fixtures, they were there not with many wins, but with several draws, and the losses were quite often 1 goal, maximum 2 goals. It's not like they were blown out of the park. It was always a difficult game. And a tight game, and they were also sometimes really unlucky to lose just with 1 goal. And also we know that we had also a tough week in terms of load, and in this type of games you have to deliver, and you have to make sure that you win the points, and especially my experienced players will also, if it's not enough to point to these points, will also make sure that also our younger players are on it. It's sadly never a guarantee that we will win the 3 points tomorrow, but I think we are well aware and also well prepared that it will be a difficult game, and it has the same value like an away game at Leicester or home game against Ipswich, where we were capable to win all 3 points. It has the same value, and for that we have to be on it again.
Daniel Farke there, who we always say speaks so well. Pascal, is he like that in the dressing room? Is he calm? Does he get angry? You obviously see him when we don't.
Yeah, within the changing room, it's different. It varies from how we play on the day. He can be really angry. He showed that, which I think is a good thing. That, you know, when we're not playing well, we don't get cocky. So then he gets aggressive, but then also he has a calmer side to him, which takes the control most of the time.
Yeah, because I think you need a bit of both. You need to have that aggression, but also you need the calmness at times as well. And if you're saying that, that's great news for us to all hear that. That's the way the manager conducts himself.
It's paying off, isn't it?
It really
it's clearly
is.
working.
It certainly is, yeah.
Dom, I just want to talk to you quickly about team news, because we know that Daniel Farke's made 5 changes from that FA Cup game against Plymouth, which we'll have a look back at very shortly. Archie Gray replaces Sam Byram at right back. Ethan Ampadu replaces Liam Cooper. Somerville comes in for Jaden Anthony. Ruter replaces Joel Peru, and Bamford comes in for Joseph. Connor Roberts is also on the bench. Are those the changes that you would have expected?
Being honest, yes. I thought they were the changes we made. It gave people an opportunity in the Cup, which I think the players needed some game time, but I think now that's the team he's kind of gone with, and I think it's the right team, in my own opinion, today to get us the points. But yeah, I think he's in my opinion, he's made the right call. But the players in the right positions, and I think he'll give us more chance to, because obviously Rotherham are struggling slightly, bottom of the league. I think this is a game I expect us to win, but nothing's easy in the Championship, as we all know. But I think if we start quickly in this game and we can get an early goal, I think we can go on and get a few more. And I think that's probably what the manager's saying. Can we finish these chances off? Because that's the one thing I've been a little bit critical about. We've made it hard work for ourselves, and if we're a bit more clinical, because we've got the players to do it. I generally think I'm not saying no game's easy, but we can make life a little bit easier for ourselves.
Yeah, put the game to bed
Correct.
as early as possible,
Correct,
basically.
yeah, that's right.
Well, we'll look ahead more to today's game very shortly, but let's just look back, shall we, to that 4-1 win against Plymouth. And Pascal, I'm sure you were absolutely devastated to miss that game. I mean, it had a little bit of everything, didn't it, this game?
Yeah, I mean, looking back at the game, I think we started off really well, you know, creating the chances that we did there, and then it's like the first game where we didn't put it to bed. We create enough chances, and then, well, you pay the price, but then, I mean, the quality shines in the extra time.
It does, but I mean, when you've travelled that far and you're playing, you know, 120 minutes of football, does it take its toll? Or in a game like that, once you've won, do you just kind of very quickly forget about that?
I mean, after you win, everything's okay. I feel like, I mean, it's what we love to do, keep winning. So, you know, a whole journey like that, if you win the 3 points or go to the next round, that's all that matters.
It's certainly a good journey back when you win.
Yeah.
On that bus. Yeah, with the
You get
fans.
longer celebrations.
Oh, you do,
don't
yeah,
you?
just a bit.
Do you think, though, when we see, obviously, it's not ideal, but when we see the team grinding out a win like that, do you think that demonstrates the team spirit and this desire to win every game, Don?
100%, yeah, definitely. And like I said, there's competition now for players. Everyone wants to be in the team, you know, and that's the mindset of all the players. And yeah, listen, we've got a group of players, and we can adjust that when we need to. And I think the manager's done that when he's had to. But he's got his core players. Everyone's got core players within the group, and they've used them properly, and everyone's improving together. So for me, that's great, because everyone's getting better. Everyone wants to play. You need competition to be better, to get better as a player yourself. So I just think that's another thing the manager's installed.
Pascal, it must give the defence so much reassurance knowing that you've got so many goal threats in this team.
Yeah, I mean, of course, it makes life so much easier if you're winning 2-3-0. You always have space to concede a goal, which we don't want, of course.
Yeah.
But you know, when we have so much firepower up front, it makes it just a little bit easier for us at the back as well.
And one of the things you touched on it, you alluded to it not long ago, Dom. Being efficient, putting the game to bed, and Daniel Farke's spoken about being more efficient in front of goal.
Yeah.
Is that the main focus now, do you think, that really that's probably the only area he can see room for improvement?
Yeah, most definitely. And like I say, because we've got so much quality in that final third, it will happen. I've been saying in all the lounges when I've been working, eventually someone's going to be at the end of a 4 or 5 or 6 even. I generally do believe that. Hopefully it may be today, but yeah. I'm not putting pressure on players, but I generally believe we're playing that well because we haven't been taking them chances. Eventually that will happen. It happens in football. But again, it's how we start today. If we start well, as I mentioned earlier, if we start this game well, we'll go on and win this game. We will. But it's the mindset of the players. I feel like we've got the players with a better mindset than what we had before, because I think they understand it with this manager. He's installed that into them, and you have to have that.
Well, look, Pascal, Ethan Ampadu has taken up the captaincy in your absence, and he caught up with LUTV earlier this week.
Been in a good rhythm, and I'm enjoying it. I'd say throughout my career I've had some good performances, but I think just consistently as rhythm goes, and you know, building sort of strengths within one position, I'd say so, yes.
We've touched on a little bit of the strengths of this squad of players, but what do you think are the key things within the squad, the team, the coaching staff that are going to serve you really well for this kind of run-in now?
No, the togetherness, the fact we're all on one page, all got the same goals, all got the same mission, and that every single one of us is working to our best to try and achieve those.
And obviously things have been going amazingly well at Elland Road. You know, you're back at Elland Road this Saturday ahead of a busy week on the road. What do you put down, the success at Elland Road? What's that kind of down to this season, do you feel?
I mean, first of all, you could say the fans. The way they back us, the way they support us. Even if we've gone 1-0 down in a game, you know, they've not turned against us. They've been there throughout to the very end, and I think that showed. We've had a lot of late winners, late equalisers, and just that belief that at home, you know, we don't want that's our home. We don't want anyone to come and take any points of us.
You definitely don't want Rotherham to do that this weekend, Ethan. Does the game down at Rotherham earlier this season, does that still sting a bit when you think about it?
No, of course. Any game that you don't get the maximum points is going to sting. We know on that day we could have played better as well. They did what they needed to, but we know we can take some confidence knowing that we can play a lot better than we did that night.
obviously you'd be expected to win the game when people look at the league table, but you know the Championship doesn't always work like that. So what's the key approach from you and the rest of the players for Saturday?
Yeah, the Championship's relentless. It's a cliche, but no game's easy. But I think after the way we've started in 2024, we just want to continue that, keep building the momentum, keep building the things that have got us success so far within this calendar year, and taking that into this game, and trying to take the next step.
And just finally, Ethan, how do you kind of focus mentally, I suppose, as much as physically on the remainder of the season? Because it's some race. I mean, I don't think in the Championship seen a race like this before. But how do you genuinely stay focused and sort of just keep your eye on yourselves and game by game and everything?
I think you gave the answer there. Just focus on ourselves, taking it game by game. I don't want to sit here and give you all the cliches, but it's simple as that. If you focus towards what may happen at the end of the season, say this game on Saturday, we might miss an opportunity. But it's literally taking this next game, Rotherham, planning on that, trying to do the best we can in that game, and take it game by game.
What a signing he's been done.
He certainly has. He's one of those players. He's a 7, 8 out of 10 every single week. He knows what he's doing when he plays midfield or he plays as a centre back. He understands the game, which you have to do to play at the highest level. And I think what he brings is a little bit of calmness as well. And he's also got a good passing range as well, which we've seen at times this year. Where he's passed some lovely balls into to the strikers. So I think his game's evolving and he's getting better. And wherever he plays, he's so consistent, and that's what you want. You want players within your group who are consistent week in, week out. And like I said, a 7, 8 out of 10 every week is what you want to try and be as a player with that consistency.
What's Ethan like off the pitch, Pascal?
Off the pitch, he's a really good guy. And then within the group, I feel like, especially now stepping up as captain as well, his leadership is growing. It was already there, but it's probably growing even more now that you have I don't want to say that I'm too loud, because I'm not, but when there's absentees, there's people that have to step up and take the captaincy serious, and then make sure that the team is always ready to go, even when you have a little bit of a down period within the game. And then I think he's doing the job really well so far.
It must feel like the Welsh dressing room as well at the minute, is it not, Pascal?
I mean, we have 4, and they're all good guys, but I prefer the Dutch.
I love that. Joe Rodon as well made a great impact. He's an absolutely excellent addition to the squad. You've got a really good partnership with him, Pascal, obviously when you're fit. What is he like to play alongside? What's he like?
I mean, Joe's a really, really good player. He's really fast, really strong in the air, good on the ball. I mean, there's plenty of qualities I can say about him. And then also I think building a centre-back partnership takes time to understand each other the way you play. So, I mean, Ethan and Joe, knowing them probably from the national team already, they know a little bit about each other. So I think it's only a good thing for the team.
No, I was just saying, you were talking about Joe, he's been outstanding. He reads the game so well, and he's quick. They can get him out of trouble when he needs to. But yeah, he's a great player, and I think the improvement will come with him as well.
Okay, well, kick-off is just a matter of minutes away, so let's have a look ahead to this game, shall we, Dom? What are you expecting from this Rotherham side? Because when you look at the league table, it should be an easy win, but we know that is pretty much never the case.
No, it's not. Listen, we'll have prepared properly, we all know that. The manager won't let that. You've got to prepare right for every game. Obviously, the Rotherham manager is a Leeds fan, believe it or not. He was born just on the doorsteps of Elland Road, Liam Richardson, so he'll want to come and do well today, obviously, because all his family will be here. My wife actually grew up with Liam in Leeds. Yeah, it's funny how it works sometimes. But yeah, he'll come with a game plan. They'll have to be set up well to try and break us down, really. But I think he'll have a go, but he'll come defensive for sure. And it's just like we mentioned earlier, can we break them down, get the goals and put the game to bed, and then maybe bring other players on when we need to.
He'll be aware as well that obviously our form is great at the minute anyway, but home form in particular. Why is our home form so good, do you think, Pascal?
Why is it so good?
The fans.
The fans, of course. This is the number one thing. And I feel just comfortable playing here. Every team that comes here, they know our record at the moment, which is still unbeaten at home, which is a very tough task. It brings something already it's a mental thing that already is there. So I think it's just difficult for opponents to get here, and us feeling confident in our own stadium.
Well, Pascal, it's been an absolute pleasure having you join us. Thank you so much.
Thank
we
you.
are going to head outside very shortly and join our commentary team of Bryn Law and Tony Dorigo. But first, let's get the thoughts of Junior Firpo.
Well, Junior, you've been on a great run so far this year. Is the aim today to keep that run going?
Yeah, of course. I think everyone is feeling really good. We are having really good results, and especially at home we are unbeaten. So, which is a thing that no one can say. So, obviously we expect today a difficult team. They are fighting for relegation. You know, it's a difficult situation. They are fighting for them, for the family, for the contracts, everything. So. It will be a difficult game, but we hope to take the 3 points.
You had a really difficult, long night in midweek with a long journey at the end of it as well. Has everyone had enough chance to rest ahead of this next game?
Yeah, probably. Yeah, I think nowadays we have a lot of things to recover quickly than in the past. We have great things on the training ground, great physios with medical staff. So I'm pretty sure that everyone will feel pretty good, and we will push for the 3 points.
As you've already suggested, everyone's expecting Leeds to win this because your home form's so good and Rotherham's away form is so bad. It's not usually that easy though, is it?
It's never that easy, especially in that league. Obviously, as I said before, I think this is a tricky game because, as you said, everyone expects Leeds to win. And as I said, when you play against a team who is fighting for their life, basically, it's really tough. I can promise you it will be a really, really difficult game.
Welcome back. We are at Elland Road once more, ahead of a week of travelling, but for now, home is where the heart is, and Leeds United are hoping that home will be where further success lies as well throughout the course of this game this afternoon. A York